Hey guys, what's up? It's Wolf Airsoft Gaming, and today I'm going to be continuing the Airsoft on a Budget series with the unboxing of the first AEG, which I talked about in my previous video, the Classic Army M15A4. So I'm not going to go over all the specs about this gun because I did that in the previous video, but I actually got the last one. I had mentioned that I wanted to buy it before the sale went out or they had sold out. And I actually ended up getting the last one, so Evike doesn't carry this anymore, although other retailers do, except they're around $210. So I just thought I'd mention that. But I did buy this for $130 through evike.com, and I'm sure there's a lot of great similar deals for that. So if you do want to learn about the specs, I've got the link of the product in the description below, and you can watch my previous video as I talk about these and its competitors. And without further ado, let's unbox it. Oh boy, the high quality packaging is real. Okay, so here it is in the box. It's actually a bit lower quality packaging than I expected, but it's not the biggest part. So we'll continue with the unboxing. Okay, so out of the box you can see there's the M16 right there with the Colt trademarks, and it's got the manual here as well as the 300 round high cap. And let's go over the manual real quick. Nothing too special, basic instructions. And how you should and should not treat your battery because they have emotions. Alright, so we'll get to the high cap magazine. This is really nice. It's got a bit of wobble right there, you can see that. But it's a real nice quality, almost seems like an anodized metal. And at the bottom you've got Classic Army in your wheel. So overall, a nice magazine. Yeah, so onto the gun. Okay, so we'll go from the back to the front. Right here in the back, you've got this really nice material, full metal M16 stock. You've also got your battery compartment here, which is easy to open unlike some others. And it's got the low resistance wiring, as well as it's even got this conversion right here from a small Tamiya to a large one, so you can use either type of battery. And that closes really nice, or actually it takes a bit of effort to close, but the opening action is really smooth. And moving on to the receiver, you've got this ugly warning sticker here, but nothing too bad. You've got your fire modes here, safe, semi, and auto, and that's a real nice fire selector there that'll stay in place. Right here you've got some Colt trademarks, Colt Manufacturing Company, as well as these really nice trademarks that almost seem to be engraved. I don't think they are. You've got their logo and the 6mm caliber. And on the other side, we can see here we've got this nice metal mock bolt, as well as we pulled the charging handle back. Oh, I guess it doesn't lock back. There we go. I had to push it the other way, but as you can see, it's locked back here. You've got your metal one-piece hop-up, which is really nice, as well as the other upgrades like the Type Warner barrel and the fully custom gearbox. And if you push this button right here, this is the bolt catch. Slams forward there, and you've got this nice cover here. We've got Classic Army trademarks here, as well as these three fire modes. You've got the forward assist here, and a nice full metal carrying handle to finish this off. The receivers are full metal. Everything that should be full metal is, and it's actually really lightweight metal, so it does feel really good. Moving up, we've got our full length M16 handguard, which is a really nice polymer. Our front sling stock bayonet mount, front sight, and to finish it off, the rest of the barrel and a orange plastic flash hider. So a few more things I want to add in this video about the gun itself is I want to go over all the upgrades that it's included, because I didn't go about it in detail in this video. In the last video I did, but I didn't get all of it. So the upgrades include, and I'm going to be including a price tag with each one of these, is a 6.03 brass type bore inner barrel, runs about $30, a one-piece metal hop-up unit, that's worth $15, a blue M4 air nozzle with an internal O-ring, which is $10, a blue aluminum cylinder head with double O-rings, which is about $15, a bore-up ported aluminum cylinder, which is very nice and costs about $15, probably more than that. A yellow polycarbonate piston with one metal tooth, that runs about $5, that's stock, it's rather a weaker part, disappointed they put that in there. And to continue, a double torque steel gear set, and this is really impressive to have in the gun, and that's about $40 or more. 9mm ball bearings, which is extremely nice and larger than just about any other gearbox. They're fully custom. A metal ball bearing spring guide, which is also a quick spring change system, so if you want to change your springs out, you can do it really easily without opening the gearbox, in case your fields require different FPS limits, which is nice. Full low resistance wiring, which is about $25, probably more than that because it is a lot of wiring, and a small to large type Tamiya adapter, which is really nice that they included that. And last, the high torque and high speed motor, which is about $50. So in total, that is about $236 in upgrade parts, not including the labor. If you added labor in that, the total would probably be around about $300 or so, not including shipping charges, to have all of that stuff installed. So that is a huge amount of value and upgraded parts that they put in there. And there are a few other things I forgot to mention. Overall, really nice gearbox. That is not going to break in a while. And if it does, it's just going to be that piston, since everything else is upgraded. Another nice thing about that is, because it's upgraded, you can add higher tension springs in there if you wanted an M130 or above. I'd be a bit cautious about it because of the piston, but everything else looks really, really good in the gearbox. And a few other things to note about the gun is the box, the gun, and the manual are all different. The manual, although it is a generic one, states that it's actually an M16A1, which it's not, it's an A3. And the box says it's an M16 standard rifle, but it doesn't have any specifications for the Spartan edition. And the gun says it's an M16A2, which it isn't because it has a removable carrying handle. I took off the carrying handle because I wanted to look at the rails on the receiver, and they are actually numbered and lettered, and they look very, very nice. So I'm glad they included that touch. In case you ever take it off, you'll be able to see that detail. And the hop-up nub had to be replaced. And the story about this is I went outside to shoot it, put the battery in, put the magazine in, went outside, and all the BBs were curving way up. I mean, they were really, really high. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just adjust the hop-up. And I couldn't really quite get it to work. I took it apart, and I put the hop-up unit back together, and I tried it again, same result. So I took the nub out, and it actually broke upon coming out. It was a clear nub, and the hop-up bucking was blue. So I decided just to put that back in there and had the same thing. So I got a new hop-up nub, as I thought that might have been the problem, and I put it in there, and I went through a series of having absolutely no hop no matter what, and over hop, and they were non-adjustable both ways. So the actual problem was that the hop-up arm was pressing against the receiver, so it was actually pushed down by the upper receiver, causing it to overhop all the time. So what I did is I took my Dremel tool and I cut off the top of the hop-up arm, and I was able to get an adjustable hop-up in good trajectory. So all of that was good. And another note while I was shooting is the magazine and gun fed great. And this is really important because I've had problems with this on a lot of guns. And the magazine kept up with the gun. I was shooting 24 rounds per second, and the magazine's of very good quality, never had any misfeeds. So really impressed with that, and I'm glad there wasn't any problems with that. Still disappointed about the hop-up, but there's always going to be problems with any gun when you first get it. So just a few things for field testing and first impressions that I had of this, and overall, really good. Alright, we're going to be doing a shooting test now to test the rate of fire and trigger response. This is attributed to the low resistance wiring, and for battery I have a 1100 milliamp 11.1 volt LiPo battery. So here we go with semi. Very crisp trigger response, and now full auto. So as you can see, that's probably around 20 plus, maybe 24 rounds per second or something like that. Especially with a gun that's shooting over 400 FPS, that's absolutely incredible. In summation, this rifle was 130 bucks, and it comes with about $130 just in upgrades that they included stock from the factory. And I got the last one. I was fortunate enough to find it in time, and I mean, really, this is a great gun, especially with all the features. I mean, just literally the metal bodies, the tight bore inner barrel, the hop up, and the internal upgrades would total $130. So having this gun is definitely a DMR. You'll probably be shooting 175 to 200 feet easy, especially with the upgrades. And overall, this is the absolute best gun for that price range that I could ever recommend. I mean, this is super impressive. So that about wraps it up for this episode of Wolf Airsoft Gaming. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.